right, the reporter with the president team is currently working in Astana as Kazakhstan prepares to host the president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, for his official state visit. This visit will also coincide with the informal summit of the Organization of Turkic States, which will be taking place in the spiritual capital of Kazakhstan, Turkestan city. The agenda of these important events is expected to focus on strengthening bilateral relations, expanding regional cooperation, as well as exploring the new prospects for further and deeper Turkic integration. We will be following all the key developments step by step, so let's get started. The President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, has arrived in Astana for his state visit to Kazakhstan. He's welcomed by President Tokayev. We are expecting the high-level negotiations tomorrow, followed by the informal OTS summit in Turkestan.
Erdoğan ata yurtumuzga hoş geldiniz.
Hoş bulduk.
The welcoming ceremony continues with the performance on the national instrument, the dombura. Then the president's warm hug is setting a tone for the upcoming events in the city. A short exchange before the cortege goes. Presidents discuss plans for tomorrow's negotiations. Now everything is set to host the high-level guest. President Tokayev steps up to welcome the Turkish leader at the entrance of the Palace of Independence. Now inside, the two presidents are engaged in an official protocol ceremony, greeting the members of the official delegation. Turkey is represented by key government officials and an extended business delegation, indicating a strong economic interest in cooperation with Kazakhstan. Now the welcoming ceremony is on in the Palace of Independence. You can see that Presidents Tokayev and Erdoğan are listening to the national anthems of two countries. Right after that, they will be heading into the round of negotiations. The tete-a-tete meeting starts. Opening it, President Tokayev underlines that Kazakhstan and Turkey enjoy consistently friendly relations and an enduring partnership, as well as indicates that the agreements that took effect after his official visit to Ankara are fully implemented by this time.
The fifth meeting of the High-Level Strategic Cooperation Council was held in Ankara, where very important decisions were made. Today, the sixth meeting of the Council will take place, and a large-scale business forum will also be held. A representative delegation has arrived in Astana together with you. I am confident that your visit will be successful. Today, we are taking a major step toward bright future of our bilateral cooperation.
Recep Tayyip Erdoğan in turn thanks the head of state for the warm welcome in Astana.
Öncelikle değerli kardeşimin
First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation to visit the land of our ancestors. You are showing us exceptional hospitality. The honor with which my delegation was received, with aircraft escorting us from the moment we entered Kazakhstan's airspace, brought us great joy. We will certainly not forget this. I believe today's visit will make an important contribution to strengthening the unity of our brotherly peoples.
Turkey, being the first state to recognize the independence of Kazakhstan in 1991, is its key strategic partner. Two nations are enhancing their trade and investment partnership with a strong alignment in the logistics, energy and infrastructure spheres. Now, with trade turnover surpassing $5 billion in 2025, the two sides insist on further diversifying trades.
Economic relations with Kazakhstan is very important for Turkey. I'm sure it's vice versa, the same for Kazakhstan as well. For the future, we can increase our energy cooperation definitely. Also, we can have more trade in mining sector, in rare materials. Also, there are lots of opportunities for cooperation in defense sector as well. On transportation, Kazakhstan and Türkiye are on the middle corridor path, so there are also opportunities to increase land transportation between our countries. The Turkish companies see Kazakhstan as a very attractive destination for investments, for business, for trade as well, for production. Particularly they're interested in minerals production as well. And the Kazakh companies see Turkey as a very attractive, reliable supplier and a hub to open up to outside world.
In his speech at the meeting of the High-Level Strategic Cooperation Council, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev details the current prospects of cooperation with Turkey, saying that Kazakhstan is already in a position to increase its exports to the country across 34 product categories, totaling more than $600 million.
Қазіргі таңда Қазақ-түрік екіжақты қарым-қатынасы
Bilateral economic relations are expanding rapidly. Turkey is among our largest investors. To date, $6 billion in investment from your country have been attracted into our economy. Kazakhstan's investment in Turkey have also increased, reaching nearly $2.5 billion. In addition, Turkey is among our top 5 trading partners. We are interested in maintaining these positive trends and further expanding the scope of our cooperation.
Energy dialogue is one of the core pillars of cooperation. Kazakhstan exports to Turkey, among other natural goods, crude oil, petroleum products and natural gas, now steadily elevating its shares through the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline, the route which goes from Kazakhstan to Azerbaijan under the Caspian Sea and then via Georgia to the Ceyhan port of Turkey. Two countries are also interested in implementing joint projects in the mining sector as well as metal processing.
Gas is closely working with Turkish Petroleum Corporation. We have provided all the geological data on Ülken-Jambul block field and potentially we'll be developing this together. There are some other additional blocks that both companies are working on, and we've been a supplier of oil into the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline. And this year we expect to transport 1.7 million tons.
Taking the stage, President Tokayev announces a new state order of Kazakhstan named after renowned historic figure Hoxha Ahmed Yassauи, which is today presented to President Erdoğan. This award, according to the head of state, will honor distinguished scientists and public figures for their outstanding contributions to the development of the country. Then time comes for another announcement. Two presidents participate in the opening ceremony of the Hoxha Ahmed Yassaui School in Turkey, built by Kazakhstan in an effort to support the reconstruction process of Gaziantep, widely affected by the devastating earthquake in 2023. Mentioning overall cooperation in the education sector, it is also important to note the progressive development dynamics both the Minister of National Education of Turkey and the Minister of Higher Education of Kazakhstan highlight in an interview with Silkway.
This school will further deepen the bonds of friendship between the two countries.
In addition, several agreements will be signed to strengthen cooperation between Turkey and Kazakhstan in the field of education and to reinforce efforts aimed at ensuring that our children receive a quality education and proper upbringing. Preparations are currently underway for an even more stable and long-term cooperation agreement.
Today we're going to announce really good news. For the very first time, a proper branch campus of a Turkish university, Gazi University, one of the oldest pedagogical universities, will open in Shymkent, based on Uzbekili Janibek of Shymkent Pedagogical University. Second, we'll be signing today an agreement on a scholarship program, Abay Akif Ersoy, the famous Turkish poet. It'll be a full scholarship program which will allow citizens of Kazakhstan to study on full scholarship in best Turkish universities, and the Turkish citizens will come to Kazakhstan and again will have to select our best universities.
Members of the official delegations exchanged 12 intergovernmental documents which enable further boost of economic and investment activities in both countries. For example, new joint projects in Kazakhstan with the Turkish capital, which involve building processing capacities in agriculture and mining, logistics hubs and infrastructure facilities, will help attract over $900 million in investments.
Following bilateral talks, presidents of two countries have signed the declaration on extended strategic partnership and are now briefing the press on the results of today's negotiations.
Bilateral relations demonstrate high dynamics of developments, President Tokayev says, adding that the declaration on eternal friendship signed by both leaders is a step that cements the brotherly nature of relations and commitment to jointly elevating the well-being of people of two countries.
Ең бастысы Қазақ-түрік қатынасын жаңа деңгейге көтеретін.
We adopted the Declaration on Eternal Friendship and Enhanced Strategic Partnership, which is intended to elevate Kazakh-Turkish cooperation to a qualitatively new level. This historic document is, in essence, a unique symbol of the unity of our two peoples and their aspiration for a bright future.
Addressing the complex geopolitical environment where the conflicts have the tendency to escalate, presidents of two countries have reached a consensus on the need to strengthen the role of the UN, ensuring the primacy of international law and upholding the principles of justice.
Turkey-Kazakhstan relations are extremely important, not only on bilateral domain, but also, just like you asked during your question, in the international domain, our cooperation really makes difference, and because we are facing a lot of challenges regionally and globally, I think Turkey, Kazakhstan can play a very important role, and the Organization of Turkic States can play extremely important role in bringing stability and security not only to our region but globally.
The agenda of the visit continues with the business forum. Kazakh and Turkish businessmen sign a number of agreements enabling new joint projects in Kazakhstan.
We signed today two agreements about our hospital infrastructures, Turkestan and Petropavlovsk hospitals. Both of the hospitals is around 300 billion tenge, 295 billion tenge with Samruk Kazana. And I would like to give you the good news to Kazakh public for Turkestan. Inshallah, our hospital will be delivered by the end of this year, and Petropavlovsk will be delivered by next year. I would like to underline to my Turkish business society, since YDA Holding is here more than 25 years, I would invite everyone to invest this country. This country is having a big opportunities, having a nice, fruitful and trustworthy ecosystem.
Now you can see President Tokayev and President Erdoğan have arrived at the joint business forum where they are expected to address the panel with their final remarks. In his speech, President Tokayev underlines that creating favorable conditions for businesses is the #1 priority for the government.
Президент жанындағы шетелдік инвесторлар кеңесі құрылды.
A Council of Foreign Investors has been established under the President. A special investment headquarters is operating. A national digital platform based on the one-stop-shop principle has been launched. Foreign entrepreneurs can benefit from the advantages of the Altyn visa program. As you know, the Astana International Financial Center is actively operating in our capital. It is a leading hub in the region created to provide comprehensive support for investors and entrepreneurs. The center operates on the principles of English law, drawing on the best practices of the financial centers of Istanbul, London, Dubai, and New York.
The head of state also emphasizes the increasing role of the transit potential of Kazakhstan, making a middle corridor a central example of the importance of the connectivity concept. In 2025, container traffic of this route grew by 36%. The next goal is to increase the volume to 10 million tons. Digital smart solutions have already been introduced across the board to fasten procedures for further expansion of the cargo capacities. Now it's time to synchronize these efforts with other major transportation routes in the region. President Tokayev continues.
Orta dəhliz жобасын
I consider it important to align the Middle Corridor project with the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity initiative. It is also worth separately noting the significant contribution of Turkish entrepreneurs to the infrastructure potential of the country's civil aviation sector. At present, TAV Holding is reconstructing the international terminal of Almaty Airport. The company S-System Logistics has expressed interest in building a logistics center at Aktobe Airport. The implementation of these initiatives will contribute to strengthening the potential of the domestic aviation industry.
President Tokayev's visit to Turkestan starts with attending a new mosque which was built as a gift from President Mirziyoyev of Uzbekistan to the people of Turkestan. The long shared history has made the people of Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan very close, particularly through the heritage left in Turkestan and the major cities of Uzbekistan. The mosque's architecture blends the traditions of Islamic architecture with modern construction techniques. The facade and interior are adorned with traditional patterns and elements of Islamic calligraphy.
The informal OTS summit has officially kicked off in Turkestan. Now President Tokayev is taking stage to address the high-level panel with his opening remarks, strengthening the importance of cooperation within the Turkic world, especially when it comes to the matters of digitalization of economies and implementation of artificial intelligence.
Opening the meeting, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev thanks the leaders of the organization's member states for participating in its forum. He praises the current development of Turkestan, which demonstrates stable economic growth, but most importantly, its symbolic meaning for the Turkic world. In turbulent times, President adds, the unity of the Turkic states is taking on special significance.
We are witnessing an escalation of competition at both the international and regional levels. Armed clashes and wars are occurring more and more frequently. We all see the destabilizing impact these processes are having on the global economy. The consequences of the situation in the Middle East are beginning to be felt by countries in neighboring regions as well. I believe that under current realities, the Turkic states need to intensify economic and investment partnership and consolidate efforts for the sake of common progress.
Held under the theme Digital Development and Artificial Intelligence, the summit centers discussion around this topic. The head of state announces a number of initiatives aimed at consolidation of efforts of the OTS member states in the digitalization process. One important step is to create the network of the centers of excellence in AI across the OTS nations, as well as invest in building the necessary infrastructure for the AI-powered projects.
Қазір әрбір елде IT жобаларға арналған технопарктер бар.
Today, every country has technology parks for IT projects. I propose establishing a joint center of IT hubs in the member states of the Turkic Council. The center could be named Turkic AI. A joint hub which could be located at the LMAI Center would undoubtedly contribute to advancing our common interests.
Leaders of the OTS member states have signed the Turkestan Declaration. In his final remarks, President Tokayev states that the organization is not a geopolitical project nor a military alliance. Kazakhstan sees its ultimate goal in strengthening the unity of the Turkic world. The economic prosperity of the nations is in the core of the organization's priorities as well.
Мы совместно сегодня создаем пул проектов.
We have created a pool of projects that we will jointly finance during the initial years together with leading financial institutions. At present, the fund has its own authorized capital of $600 million, but we intend to increase it through contributions from our governments as well as by attracting investments. By making maximum use of the potential of co-financing, I believe we will be able to reach the level of $3 billion in financing for our projects within the coming years.
Today, it was announced that Turkestan will become not only the spiritual center of the Turkic world, but also the location of the center of Turkic civilization. The establishment of such a center in Turkestan is a very important step and a highly significant initiative of our president, especially in terms of promoting and preserving the Turkic cultural identity. This step will contribute to the further preservation of the heritage of the Turkic countries.
The presidents also visit the mausoleum of Hoja Ahmed Yesawi in Turkestan, paying tribute to the memory of the great thinker buried here. President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan presents the mausoleum with a handwritten Quran created by the Ottoman calligrapher Ahmed Şemseddin Karahisar. As the informal OTS summit concludes with the adoption of the Turkestan Declaration and a renewed vision for the further strengthening of the Turkic cooperation, we are now heading back from Turkestan, which is now recognized as the civilizational center of the Turkic world. That's everything we wanted to share with you. For now, see you soon. Goodbye.